you know, it's your sort of favorite admin, the UROC admin, Ethan. So this is the mat I won at the Chicago Hoth Open, and people will ask some questions. You know, what's the basics of X-Wing? So I'm gonna do my best to try to explain that. All right, you have a 3 foot by 3 foot mat. On that mat, each person brings 3 asteroids or 3 debris. They're both up. I brought asteroids. Well, I didn't really pull everything out, but it's asteroids. The way you decide how these get set up is you look at how many points each team has. You can have up to 100 points in a squadron. And that could be anywhere from 2 to, I think, 6 ships. And it's based on pilot cards and abilities. So, I will show you one of the things. This is Corin Horn. He is a PS8. He's worth 35 points without any upgrades. He flies the E-Wing. And I add the adaptability card. Increase, there we go. Which is what we call a title card, or EPT. It's worth 0 points, but it makes his pilot skill 8 go to a pilot skill 9. And then on his crew, sorry, this is weird, there's R2-D2, who is worth 4 points, and whenever you maneuver a green maneuver of R2-D2, you gain a shield back. Alright, that being said, all 3 of these guys, Corin in the E-Wing, Poe is Black X-Wing, and Ahsoka Tano in the Sabine's TIE Fighter. Sweet paint job on these things, by the way. Just so you know. They come painted, you can repaint them yourself. All their upgrades make them pilot skill 9. Now, the difference is pilot skill 1 to pilot skill 9. Pilot skill 1 means I place on the map first, and I also maneuver first. They shoot last, though. Pilot skill higher levels, such as 9, you maneuver last, shoot first. And so basically, what I'm going to do, both my pilots are 8. It's what I used at Hoth. I used Miranda Doney in the K-Wing. So I'm going to place her as if I was actually playing her. And Rey in the New Millennium Falcon, which, by the way, satellite dish moves. So I'm placing, this is basically how I played them at Chicago. I played them set up like this. Now there's different ways you can set them up. The big base ships like that, this is what they call a big base ship. It a piece of the base on the bottom has to be touching an edge of the mat when you're setting up. You can be sitting in a corner, you can be something like that, but a base of it. With the small base ships, they have to be within what they call range 1. So if I lay this down, I can set it as far forward as this right here to start off the match. They don't have to sit. There's also different theories on how you set it up. I'll just do this just for shits and giggles, so you guys have an idea. Alright, oh, and rock placement. Sorry, I totally forgot. Asteroids and debris have to be range 1, which you can buy these single range 1 fighters away from each other, but they have to be range 2 from the mat, from the sides of the mat. And we're good. Alright, so both of these are 100-point list. What you usually do is you roll a hit dice, and you say hit or miss, and you call in the air, whoever, obviously the other person. So I'll say hit, I'm playing with these guys, hit. I rolled a crit, which means a hit, which means I get to choose initiative. And initiative means who lays the rocks down first, but I already did that. And who would move first if they were same pilot skills. This is not an issue right now, because 8 and 9s. Alright. So basically, you have these maneuver dials. And each one represents, there's a K-Wing. And we have all different kind of maneuvers on here. 1 through 5. You have greens, which are good. You have whites, which don't mean anything, and you have reds. When you get red, you get a stress maneuver, and you get assigned a stress token, which I should have poured these out earlier so I could see better. And it would be this, which means you lose actions and you can't do anything else. So I'm just going to say 3 straight for my K-wing, so you know what I'm doing. But basically what you do is you choose your maneuver dial, you face it down like that, both sides, and you say, hey, I'm good to go, let's maneuver. Once you do that, 8s would go first, I would flip that, I would put my 3 on the front of the base, and then boom. That's a maneuver. And then I would choose an action. So, since I'm not anywhere near anything, just for shits and giggles, I go, focus token. That's my action. Media actions go from choosing tokens, which are usually focus, evade, or target locks, to actual physical actions, which are barrel rolls, which for the small ship you use the 1, and you choose anywhere on the base, so the most famous is front to back. You put the front of the base, and then you flip it, and you go to the back of the base. So technically you move over and up a little bit. Then there's boost, which some ships have, which is you maneuver 1 forward, 1 bank, and so move this back, and say, oh, I'm going to boost 1 bank. So it's to get closer or to get out of range. So that's the targets. Okay, so to speed things up, I'm just going to put everything within range of each other so we have an idea of what's going on. Alright, so since Poe, Corrin, and Ahsoka are 9s, they're able to shoot first. Well, Ahsoka's ability is she's a support ship, so she's not going to shoot. She's going to pass shit off. So she passes off, say, Poe focuses, and so does Corrin. But I want Corrin to have an evade, so Ahsoka's ability to pass it up. Or one of her crew cards pass it up. Alright. Move them up closer so we can explain range 1. Alright, so range 1, when you're attacking, you add 1 extra attack die. And Poe usually fires 3, so he'll fire 4 instead. So you roll, and I rolled a crit, a blank, and 2 eyes. Now the focus token, that's what the eyes are for. I can use the focus token and turn it into 3 hits. 2 hits and a crit. Now, the K-Wing only has 1 defense die because that's its thing. So I roll it. Boom. I evade 1. So it means I would take away 1. I would take 1 hit, 1 crit. And seeing as I have not lost any shields yet, that means I would lose 2 shields. And that, that's basically it based on their attack die and their defense die. That's how you roll. There's a lot of strategy on how you want to avoid being in other people's firing arcs, which actually let me use because it's easier to see. Alright, so the front arc's right here. That's your front arc. And depending on what kind of ability is, your front arcs actually matter. But as you see, there's a circle around it, means it's a turret. It means it can fire 360 no matter what. And on the base, as you see here, you get your pilot skill 8, your 3 attack, your 1 defense, your 8 hull, and your 5 shield. That means once I lose 5 shield, then I start taking hull damage. Now, when it comes to hull damage, you get these lovely things called the damage deck. And if they roll just a plain hit like this, you take a damage card face down. Now, if you get a crit, this is when you have no shields. If you get a crit, which is the open one, you take a damage card face up. And this one would be Shaken Pilot. You have to do what it says on the card. And it says, during the playing phase, you cannot be assigned straight maneuvers. When you reveal a maneuver, flip this card down. Which means, in my next maneuver, if I wanted to go straight to get me out of damage or to put me in a better position to attack, I can no longer do that. I can only do turns. The damage deck ranges from Blinded Pilot, which, well, this one sucks if you're about to attack and kill somebody. You cannot perform attacks. So that means you're just a sitting duck. To direct hit, which means your ship takes 2 hull damage, which you may get those. And then I think it's major hull explosion. And that, you don't want to get crits. Once you're at taking crits like that, it means you're close to dying and life sucks. You're doing your best not to get hit, but doing as much damage as possible. Let's see, I'm just trying to think of everything you guys might need to know. But yeah, like I said, 100-point list can vary from small ships with big ships, 2 big ships, 3 big ships, anywhere from 2 ships all the way to 6 ships is what I've seen the most of. You have your maneuver dials, which you've seen. Here's the T-70 X-Wing. And what's cool about the cards, you usually have cartoon drawings or something like that, but every now and then they have this called alt art cards. And below there is the alt art Poe, which is actual Poe from the movie. But generally, this is what the cards look like. When they get there's Ahsoka's. It's usually a picture of the vehicle itself or spaceship itself, or a cartoon rendering of the person. Which Rey and Miranda both don't have any. It's just the ship with the K-wing and the Falcon. But that's pretty much the basics. You have tokens, like I said, you have focus tokens, evade tokens, which are free. By the way, if you get an evade token, it's usually, this is just a quick one. You get cardboard ones. It's a little arrow thing, a little wavy arrow. Means whenever you roll something, so you roll, say Poe rolled 2 hits and a crit. Now I rolled the 1 evade. Had I had an evade token, I go, I see that extra hit and I take it away, so you only do 1 shield damage to me instead of 2. There's bombs. I mean, there's all kinds of other stuff with more advanced stuff. Should anybody have any more questions? The game's a lot of fun if you like spaceships and you like Star Wars and you like strategy, because you got to come out with a team or a squadron with the correct pilot skills that you want. Like Poe, when attacking or defending, if you have a focus token, right here, you may change one of your eye results. Boom. So like if I roll an eye, I may change one of them to a hit or evade, and I can use that. Now the key with him is to leave the focus token. You don't discard it like I did earlier. I would just say, okay, I'm going to flip 1 eye over. So when I roll defense, and I roll an evade and an eye, I get a free evade. So it's 2 evades then. But yeah, you want to find the best pilot skill and ability with upgrades that suits your style of play to what you can do. And so mine right now, I actually did pretty decent in the tournament for what I've been playing. A couple bonehead moves. I should have been 5 and 2. I went 3 and 4. But K-Wing with Miranda, because of her ability and what her ship can do, and Rey and the Falcon. And I did pretty well actually. Shockingly, did pretty well. Based on who I played, and in fact I was drinking all day at the tournament. But that is kind of the basics of Star Wars X-Wing miniatures. And you want to start off, you get 2 core sets. You got a red core set and a blue core set. I suggest starting off with a blue core set if anybody wants to start on this, because the damage deck. The damage deck is a lot less damaging. It's more forgiving when you get crit rolls. And it's about $40 if I remember correctly. Each one's $40. Eventually you're going to want both for just upgrades and pilots and whatnot. And there's 3 different factions. You got Rebels, which are where I fly non-stop. Scum and Villainy, which is like Boba Fett, Cad Bane, things like that. And then Imperials, the dirty, stinking Imperials. And based on those, the factions, it's how you want to play and who you want to play and how your style, based on the factions you want to play. Like I said, I prefer Rebels and I only play Rebels. But yeah, I love the game a lot. The fact that I will go to Chicago from Georgia to play. If you guys have any questions, please hit up me or Neil Yogi or Josh Lee. And I forget who else plays because I suck at this, and I suck at being remember who plays in the group. You all have a great day.